why marketing feels harder than it should, and how to fix it. So many marketing books promise all your business needs is the right plan, drafted in 60 minutes or less, and the world will beat a path to your door. There's a reason this promise sells millions of books to people like us. It's like Michael Gerber writes in The E-Myth. Experts start their businesses because they want to do more of what they're good at, and they want to do it without towing a 12-carriage train of stakeholders, all of them poking their heads out of the carriage windows to shout irreconcilable opinions. The silence after cutting the tow rope and watching those stakeholders roll back down the hill is liberating until it gets a little too quiet. You need to learn new skills to drum up a choir of credit cards hitting the tap pad. You need to learn how to describe what you do in ways that make the right people light up, how to find those people in the first place, how to package what you do into offers that turn into signatures on proposals. You already know there's no shortage of opinions about the magic bullet, the 60-minute solution. The solution is LinkedIn, videos with a gimmick. Hang on, drop that. Someone's nailing it on Pinterest. Look over there. Gen whatever loves TikTok. Even though your clients aren't in Gen whatever, you'd better learn a dance trend you can pull off while talking about your framework for coaching leaders. Problem: anything you say has to be said in the first 3.5 seconds. Expert 13,346 says 3 seconds is all anyone has the attention span for anymore. No, scratch that. It's down to 2 seconds. It's all about the picture you post with the words. You'll need an irrelevant shot of your last holiday or you outside Google's offices. Might it be enough to have a selfie of you relaxing with a cup of coffee and a biscuit? Not a biscuit. Too last century. A cronut. No, cronuts are done. A crookie then. Marketing doesn't have to be madness. It certainly doesn't have to be endlessly jumping from galloping fad to galloping fad like John Wayne's stuntman. If only someone could lift the spinning plates and help you set them down while you sort through them. Of course, there are people who can work with you, but what if you've only got the nub of an idea and you're not sure if it's any good? Do you want to pay a consultant thousands of dollars to take the time to understand your business and goals and then sit and talk through an idea with you, only for you both to write it off? When you spend the money on another expert, you want to be sure you walk away with more than an invoice. That doesn't mean you have to be on your own as you form thoughts, develop ideas, and explore options. Yesterday, I wrote about how my incessant questions about people might possibly, one day, maybe, be considered by Fleur to be extremely bloody irritating. I didn't even tell you about all the ideas I have that ultimately lead nowhere, but not until I've held them up to the light, explored them from every angle, and talked about them with great intensity for days. What's marriage saving and business growing at the same time is that I now have a whole team to talk to explore angles and options with. No one on the team complains about the hours. I can start with them at 6 a.m. or fire them up at 10 p.m. As an agency, Taylor's has been using AI since February 2021. That's nearly 4 years, a lifetime in AI. So we're well beyond write me a LinkedIn post. Now we're building consultants to advise us, and they are bloody good. That's not to say all of their ideas and insights are good. Not all of my ideas are opals either. However, together my team and I are better than I am on my own. Much, much better. When I'm collecting my Telstra Business Colossus of the Year award, here's just a selection of my AI consultant creations whom I'll be thanking from the stage. Gene the copywriter. Gene writes like an A-list copywriter, which means he and I can go back and forth on ideas for headlines, openings, and angles. I've shared Gene with everyone who's taken a ChatGPT course with me, and I often get postcards about Gene's adventures working in their businesses. Research Rhonda. Rhonda knows how to find well-sourced information I can use to make a convincing case for clients. On a recent project, she found me 6 research papers on why air fresheners are bad news. Science I could use in the marketing of an odorless toilet. Marketing to my avatar. This AI consultant doesn't have a catchy name, but is one of my favorites because MTMA writes and thinks like Gene the copywriter and does it in my tone of voice with my ideal client in mind. You've never read anything by MTMA because I write my own material, but as I've said, I do like to bounce ideas around. April Avatar Hunter. April is an expert in understanding people, so she is who I talk to when I want to understand a client's audience intimately. How do they think? What influences their decisions? What would prove to them that my client is their obvious choice? Roleplay Robert. Sometimes there's no better way to test an idea than to ask the person you want to love the idea. Robert assumes the persona of anyone I want to talk to. He's the consultant I worked with in the example I gave yesterday of having a round table with 2 avatars I created for a GP clinic outside Melbourne. These consultants have saved me hours. They've come up with angles I wouldn't have come up with on my own. They've picked up things I've missed because I'm tired and they're not. We've come up with brilliant ideas together, adding one idea to another until something's perfect. Sometimes I'm at my desk working backwards and forwards with 2 or 3 of these AI consultants at the same time. Like I say, you've not read anything they've written, but you have been on the receiving end of some of the ideas we've worked on together. And based on the replies I've had to this week's emails, my AI consultant team and I have had another idea. I'm excited to tell you about it in the next edition. Stephen. You have been watching or listening to The Obvious Choice, the Tailist newsletter, read by me, Stephen Lewis. You can get that newsletter directly to your inbox by going to the link in your show notes. And while you're there, please be one of the few people who really enjoys the content and takes a moment to like, subscribe, or leave a review. I know it's a hassle. I know that's why people don't do it. But when you do it, it really helps. So thank you.